My next guest is a 6-time Emmy Award winner for 16 years, ever since he received the Peabody Award for Requiem for a Heavyweight, which is made into a film. He's been at the top of the profession in television. His current television series, Night Gallery, is probably best known for, well, he's known for that and Twilight Zone, of course, and he recently completed a screenplay, which is about to open, I think, a movie called The Man, James Earl Jones, opening around the country shortly. I mean, of course, Mr. Rod Serling.
I brought them, you see.
Did you two know each other, both having written...
Yes, we've met once before, yeah.
Sci-fi from time to time, as they call it.
SF, not sci-fi.
Sci-fi is disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Science fiction. Sci-fic is what it would be, actually, and that's even worse. I should ask you both about your dreams. Do you have you ever been afflicted with nightmares, and if so, did you ever get a story out of one?
No, not nightmares that the normal, average, ordinary person wouldn't have. I can't speak for Arthur, of course.
Isn't he average and ordinary?
I don't know. Ask Arthur.
I've never had any useful nightmares.
Never had one?
None that I could sell.
I think some people have the feeling that a writer could probably turn his dreams into stories, and I don't know a case of that ever happening. Maybe Coleridge once or something, but that's something else.
I hear that frequently. That do you ever have bad dreams? They say. Do you ever have dreams that can be transposed and changed and altered and somehow shoved into a fiction form? I've never had those kind of dreams.
It's not that easy.
And my dreams, of course, aren't producible anyway. In most public places, I would think.
Well, you couldn't use that for television, but maybe for movies. I feel sorry for you, ever since I read an article about you in TV Guide recently, where you came off very depressed and worried and upset over your success. And
I read it and didn't realize it was about me. I'm not depressed. I don't have that massive an ego that I run around preoccupied with myself. I'm particularly sorry you brought it up, Dick, because I've been fascinated by what's been said here this evening. What you did on the convention floor and Arthur's comments about science fiction and the projection of science and the rest of it. And it strikes me that, the cover of a TV Guide thing is probably much ado about the absolute littlest on earth, I suppose.
And so you're sorry I brought it up. And
I wish you had. Well, it's been nice having this chat, Dick.
I'm sorry, Rod. If you don't want to talk about what I want to talk about, you can't stay. Well, let me bring up something else you'll be sorry about. No, last time I was here, we got on some strange thing.
I know.
I don't remember what it was now, but I remember the feeling. Are you at odds with the network over Night Gallery, or do you not want to talk about that?
Oh, no, not really. They say it's Rod Serling's Night Gallery, and it isn't really Rod Serling's Night Gallery. It's somebody else's. And I only write a few of the scripts, and I front the show.
It's not yours.
It doesn't remotely belong to me. I have no proprietary interest in that at all. Some of the shows are quite good and quite interesting, but it's not science fiction, and it ceases to be fantasy. It's sort of a quick run through a cemetery, and it tries to compete with shows which are more popular than it is, namely Mannix, which is very action-packed and full of violence, and I suppose of its type, of its genre, it's very well done. But that wasn't what Night Gallery was supposed to be about, Dick. It was supposed to be a much more cerebral exercise. It was supposed to be much more diversified in its approach to things. It could be all things, science fiction and fantasy and the occult and the bizarre. But unfortunately, it's been an inconsistent show. But it may do very well. I just wish they'd use somebody else other than me, that's all.
What you're talking about is loss of control, I suppose. Did you ever have control over the phone?
I thought I had at one point until the phone didn't ring for several weeks. And then I kept wondering, when are they going to ask me? And they never asked me. They've been very nice. They've been very gentle and very good-hearted and warm and very unhostile. But unfortunately, that doesn't come with creative control. And I think in all medium, no matter be it film or TV, the writer should exercise a great deal of control.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, unfortunately, except on Broadway. And there he has control by virtue of a very solid, cemented contract with the Dramatist Guild, where you can't hire a spear carrier until the writer is duly consulted and gives his approval.
Yeah.
But the proscenium drama is the only art form in which the writer literally has a say in anything. I see scripts of my own on television, and I wonder who wrote them. I don't recognize them. People aren't there that I wrote about. Lines are said that I didn't write. Concepts are produced, which I have no knowledge of. And that's been the problem of television. Again, I'm beginning to sound depressed, and I'm not. I'm a very happy, contented man.
I can tell you, didn't nothing but laughs that you
right.
came in.
And I'm hanging myself on a lamppost right after the show, but outside of that.
Why can't you just put a stop to that? Just say, I have absolute control, or you'll have to go find yourself another boy.
That's what I've done.
And they went and found themselves
They found another boy. And that's the reason I've come on the show, Dick, to ask if you could use sort of a second, a second fiddle banana type fella. Grim, surly, somber, that kind of guy.
Mm-hmm. Sure. That's exactly what we look for. Let's get back to the kind of thing you were interested that we were talking about before. Say, has this ever been would this be the old Night Gallery or more Twilight Zone kind of idea that actually took place, I was told, once in England, some years ago, in a remote part of some county in England, some people got a strange thing over their television screen, and it was a program with Americans and American accents. And some of them called to find out what it was about and why it was on. They didn't understand what it was. And nobody could explain where this program was coming from, and it was only being seen in that area. And it was not broadcast in England or anywhere on the continent. And as they collected the details of it, it turned out to be a program that had been broadcast live in America, in Texas, I believe, on a local station, 8 years previously.
Well, that can't be true.
And presumably had bounced off the universe somewhere.
Sorry.
And come back and just hit this. Are you going to ruin this for us?
I'm afraid
it could happen.
It couldn't happen because we have different standards. We have 50 cycles and you have 60 cycles, so it would just be blurring across. You couldn't see it.
Well, it was blurred, let's say. Just the fact that it's blurred is... You just admitted that it could happen even blurred. That's still pretty exciting.
We couldn't see the picture at all, I mean. It's a different... The standards are totally different. British and American TV. I mean, the technical standards, not the professional standards.
Yeah, but...
You cannot pick up American TV programs on a British TV set and vice versa.
Well, because it'd be slightly distorted.
No, it doesn't create a question
totally
of distorted. The number of lines is different, you see. We have and the 50 cycles and the 60 cycles, everything is different.
You may know all there is to know about American TV and British TV, but you don't know everything there is to know about what remote corner of the universe this might have bounced off of, filtered through, and been transferred to the British system by some miracle of plutonium.
All right. It would have to be a miracle. It would have to be a miracle. It wouldn't be technology.
Well, all things seem like miracles until they're explained scientifically. I'm surprised at you, Arthur. We'll be back with what friends I have left on the panel after this.